remember when primer became a necessity in the makeup world. I personally thought that once I had Benefit Professional, my makeup would just be flawless. Like, that was the only thing keeping me from having like perfect makeup. Sadly, that wasn't the case, and after experimenting with countless primers, I kind of just determined that they just don't work very well for me, and my stance is that I don't really need them. Moisturizer is just good enough. Now at 33, I feel like I'm really starting to notice my fine lines, and I kind of just want to revisit primer to see if it can help with wrinkles and maybe do something about the large pores as well. I'm going to put a blurring primer to the test today, so let's just get right into it. Great. That sounded really Canadian, didn't it? It did. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. I'm in my, as I like to say, non-social media looking bathroom. I decided to come in here to do this because I do have some natural light coming in from a window. And I wanted to be really real with this video because I feel like right now we're not seeing a lot of people that we watch on social media age naturally. It's just the truth. I know that like the majority of influencers I watch have already had Botox, and most of them did at like, I don't know, 25 maybe, like very young. I've never done anything to my face like that. And I find that sometimes I don't really know what I should be expecting or what I should look like at 33, because so many people that I see just have like impeccably smooth skin, because I mean, Botox does wonders for forehead, right? So I noticed that I have some fine lines on my forehead. Let's just get way too up close and personal. We're gonna focus. See, if I like raise my brows, I think you can see that like I have here and here, they kind of just stay there now. And what I find annoying about that as a makeup wearer is like things kind of sink into them a bit more. When I'm going around my day-to-day life, I don't normally, and if I'm not wearing makeup, I don't normally think like, oh, my forehead, like it's so wrinkly, because it's not realistically. But when I wear makeup, I'm just like, ooh. I remember those didn't used to be there. But I'm pretty happy with my skin in general. I used to have so much more acne. I'm breaking out a little bit right now, but I've just like really come to accept myself, so that's a nice thing. I hope this is really coming across on camera as I wanted it to. Can we see my forehead and the pores? I also have very large pores, but I feel like everything is so filtered on YouTube and, you know, social media these days that we can't really tell what people's skin looks like anyway. So yeah, just like some fine lines that stay there. Obviously my forehead doesn't look like Gordon Ramsay's, you know, but it gets a little bit annoying once you're wearing makeup. When you're wearing makeup, it just does. It's hard to accept that you're aging because it's just like, oh, it just reminds you that life is moving and you're getting older. And I think getting older means closer to death, and I think that's what really scares us deep down. But I'm going to see, using blurring primer on this side, if, I'm just going to hit myself in the face with it, if it'll help at all with this. I don't think it will, but it's an experiment today. I like Cover FX as a brand. They make good products that are kind of, and they like don't really market themselves as being like a clean beauty brand, but they are clean because they use good ingredients. They're like, you know, without parabens and whatnot, and they're the brand that I trust a lot because I know they don't put fragrance and stuff like that in their products. So I would recommend it. Good brand. Don't know how all this primers work because I've used it a handful of times, but I've never really done a comparison. My stance on primer, like I said in the beginning, is that I just feel like it's never worked for me. It's never made a significant difference. And I'm just gonna put it in the porous areas. My cheeks don't really have pores, which, you know, that's positive. I mean, they do, but they're not like visible. I wish the rest of my face could look like that, but it just doesn't. It is what it is. So right off the bat, I feel like I don't really see a significant difference. I think it did a little bit on the nose. It made it look like a tiny bit better, but like in terms of these fine lines, I mean, I still see them. So we'll see. I'm gonna put on the Cover FX Power Play foundation. This is more of a matte foundation. And from what, I'm almost done it. That's why I just want to use it up. Because I haven't used it in a while and it's just been sitting in my collection. It's a good foundation. It definitely stays on nicely. But from what I have read, you want to kind of move away from matte foundations as you age. Just because I feel like they're more apt to sink into fine lines. So I thought that this would be the best one to put on because it'll be the most obvious. Like you'll see the fine lines the most with this one. So if that was a bad idea, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm doing. Okay, so just gonna go in on this side. Has no primer on it. I already put some eye products on today just because I wanted to speed up my makeup application later on. And I need to remember that I put primer on the left side of my face, my left. Okay. Because I will be doing some check-ins today. What time is it right now, actually? It's 11 a.m. I'm gonna make more videos about this in the future because I do really want to get to a place where I have a very strong understanding of what works for my skin now. Because I do struggle with acne still, and obviously I have like a pretty large pores and oily T-zone, so it's kind of hard for me sometimes to pull off the very natural-ish foundations that are popular right now. Glowy skin, radiant, dewy skin is very in, and it looks beautiful. But if you put something too radiant and shiny on very porous skin, it just really emphasizes that. So that's something I know I'm going to struggle with. I've been steering towards more natural foundations, but I know it's going to be something harder for me as I age. Okay, so I'm done with this. Well, I almost dropped that, but good catch. I'm going to put concealer on, but I'm going to do all that off camera just because standing in my bathroom like this is not the best. But so let's focus mainly on the forehead and the nose. Foundation never sits very well on my nose to begin with, but let's see. Can we get her to focus? Okay, this side, no primer. This side has primer. I feel like this side, focus, I feel like this side might actually look a little bit better. Forehead, are we focused? Okay. So I honestly do feel like this side looks slightly more blurring in terms of pores, but I already see like this one wrinkle just there. It's ready to settle in. It's ready for the day. Okay, so yeah, I'll put on concealer and finish the rest of my makeup. And then I'll check back in with you. Okay, so I realized I should have done a check-in when I first finished my makeup. I put some powder on and a setting spray. And I feel like I look as textured as ever. There's no filter going on here. Personally, this is bad for the primer. I do not. Do you guys see a difference? Definitely didn't help with that fine line there. I mean, this side I feel like, well, that wrinkle's not as bad anyway, but I was gonna say that side looks better, but I didn't put primer on that side. So I think my hypothesis that primer does not do anything for me is probably correct, but we'll go out throughout the day and see if anything gets a lot worse. But I don't have any high hopes right now because this is an hour in. I feel like it looked pretty blurring at just the initial application, but after that, it is what it is. This is the texture of my skin, and that's just what it is. Okay, so I need you to look at my face and tell me if one side you think looks better than the other in terms of makeup. Like my pores. No difference, right? You can't see anything. I know I have like big pores just generally, but
it's relatively even. Maybe that side's slightly smaller.
This side?
Yeah.
You think they look smaller on this side?
Maybe.
Where, near the nose?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like in this part.
Okay.
Up more. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
No, I'm testing primer and I put it on this side, so technically this side should look smaller. But I feel like whenever I use primer, there's like never a real difference, so I don't even bother. But you think that it is doing something like on this side, like here.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Slightly.
What about my forehead?
You only put on half?
Yes. No difference?
Not really, no.
I was trying to see if it would help like with some of my fine lines, but I feel like this one is just as prevalent as ever.
That's pretty prominent.
Don't say it's pretty prominent. What? Okay, I'm back. Shooting this into my bathroom mirror. It's like 10:30 at night right now. And I'm shooting it this way, so I'm not like kind of checking myself out in this camera. I want to just like look at my face straight on and see if I can find a difference. And clearly did not help with settling into the fine lines. They're still very prominent. Ooh, they're prominent. Okay, but I will say that one area I think that looks good, not good, but like I look crusty for sure, especially on my chin. The only area I would say is like right here. Like these pores, I don't know if it's gonna pick up here. These pores are slightly less prominent than these pores. And it's not what I was expecting. Like they're still there for sure. But primer for the win on that one. I don't believe it. Okay, let me switch to my front camera and I'll see if you guys can tell. Okay, can you see? I feel like these ones are slightly more visible than these ones. Don't you think? Like right there versus right there. But on my forehead, I feel like can't tell the difference. And obviously at the end of the day, this wrinkle always gets pretty prominent because I've been moving my face so much and it's really had time to sink in there. So I need to find I need to figure out something new for skincare until I decide I'm finally gonna give in and get Botox, but not skincare. Skincare can only do so much, and same with like makeup. Like you can't really expect that your makeup's not gonna settle in your lines at all. But you know, I'd like to try and see if I can get the best routine going, so this ends up being less prominent. Because yeah, by the end of the day, it's always quite visible. But overall, I would say I really do think this side, the pores look smaller. So that's a good thing. Okay. I feel like my eyes look slightly red in this lighting too. My eyes aren't that red in real life. My chin. Oh, my poor chin. Look how crusty it is down here. Just flaking off. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised the primer did anything. But it's not, I don't know. I don't know if it's enough for me to like recommend you go out and get a primer. Okay. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any product recommendations for good primers, please let me know in the comments down below. And also if you have any good techniques to help, makeup from settling into fine lines, also let us know in the comments down below. I'm sure anybody who is watching this video is interested in that topic. I'm going to keep experimenting and I'll let you know when I find my ideal routine, if there's anything that really works for me. I'm not super hopeful. I feel like I kind of just need to embrace my skin as it is, but we'll see what happens. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be amazing. That would make my day. And thanks again for watching. I want you to remember, don't just make up your face, make up your mind too, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.